Leeds faithful, brace yourselves because what I'm about to tell you will have you jumping off your seats, grabbing your phones, and calling every white you know. We've got 3 absolutely mental developments hitting Elland Road that are sending the football world into a complete frenzy. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, there's a massive story unfolding about a striker who's just dropped an absolute bombshell about his future at our beloved club. But that's not all. We've got drama involving a midfielder who's become the center of a bidding war between Premier League giants. And wait until you hear what's happened with our defensive target that could completely derail our transfer plans. Smash that like button if you're ready for this roller coaster. Drop your predictions in the comments below and hit subscribe because you're going to want to be the first to know when these stories explode even further. This is about to get absolutely wild, and trust me, by the end of this you'll understand why every single Leeds fan needs to hear this right now. The first revelation is going to leave you absolutely stunned about our young striker's mindset. Leeds faithful, remember when I teased you about a striker dropping a bombshell? Well, Mateo Joseph has just given an interview that's got the entire white community talking. And it's not what Daniel Farke or the board wanted to hear. The 20-year-old Spanish striker, who's currently on loan at Real Mallorca, has just delivered the most honest and raw interview you'll hear from any Leeds player this season. Joseph didn't hold back when asked about potentially returning to Elland Road, and his words are sending massive shockwaves through our fan base. I'm one of those people who say never, Joseph admitted in his explosive interview with The Athletic. Football takes many twists and turns. If circumstances change, anything is possible. Can you believe the audacity of this statement? Here's a player we shipped out on loan because Farke supposedly didn't rate him. And now he's basically saying the door isn't closed on a Leeds return. But here's where it gets absolutely mental. Joseph completely contradicted Farke's version of events about why he left. While our German manager claimed Joseph wanted to leave and didn't want to go to Germany for pre-season, the Spanish striker fired back saying Farke told him he wasn't counting on him for this season. The kid basically threw our manager under the bus in front of the entire football world. Leeds faithful, this isn't just about a loan move gone wrong. This is about a young talent who clearly feels betrayed by the club's handling of his situation. Joseph scored only 3 goals last season, but he's still just 20 years old and has massive potential. Are we making another Archie Gray mistake here? The most heart-wrenching part? Joseph made his competitive debut for Mallorca against Barcelona yesterday, and it was an absolute nightmare. Mallorca went down to 9 men before halftime, and our boy was thrown into the deep end in the second half, trying to do the work of 2 strikers against one of the world's best teams. It's like watching your little brother get bullied in a playground. But wait, it gets even more intense because there's another transfer saga that's about to explode in our faces. If you thought the Joseph situation was painful, wait until you hear about the devastating blow we've just received in our pursuit of Leicester's star midfielder Bilal El-Khanous. Leeds faithful, we've been chasing this special Moroccan international all summer long. Jermaine Beckford himself called the 20 winner a shooter. Cheered a 21-year-old exactly that. We've held meetings with his camp, sorted out wage demands, and positioned ourselves perfectly for what should have been a statement signing for our Premier League return. El-Khanous has been providing assists in Leicester's championship games, showing exactly the creative spark we desperately need. But here comes the gut-punching reality that's about to make your blood boil. Crystal Palace have just gazumped us in the most brutal fashion possible. The Eagles have already had a $20 million bid rejected by Leicester, but that's not stopping them from going back with an even bigger offer. And here's the part that'll make every Leeds fan want to throw their phone against the wall. Palace are only making this move because they're about to lose Eberechi to Tottenham. So basically, we're losing our top creative target because another club is using him as a replacement player. The disrespect is unreal. Belgian journalist Sacha Tavolieri dropped the absolute bombshell yesterday, confirming that Palace have already agreed personal terms with El-Khanous and are planning to complete the move in the coming days. Meanwhile, we're sitting here like mugs, watching our perfectly laid plans crumble before our eyes. This is exactly the kind of player who could have been the difference between staying up and going straight back down to the championship. El-Khanous is young, hungry, creative, and has that Premier League quality we've been missing since we lost Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. Now we're scrambling for alternatives like Fabio Carvalho from Brentford, a player who couldn't even get regular starts in a mid-table Premier League side, from a potential star signing to bargain basement shopping in the space of 48 hours. The frustration levels are through the roof. But Leeds faithful, if you think that's the end of our transfer misery, you're about to discover there's one more story that could be the final nail in the coffin. Right, Leeds faithful, if you're still standing after those first 2 body blows, you better sit down for this final revelation, because it's going to test every ounce of faith you have in this football club. Just when we thought we'd solved our striker crisis with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the football gods have delivered another crushing blow that's got every white questioning whether we have enough firepower to survive in the Premier League. We've been desperately hunting for that clinical finisher who could be the difference between staying up and going straight back down to the Championship. Enter Ermedin Demirović, the Stuttgart striker who's been lighting up the Bundesliga and looked like the perfect solution to our goal-scoring problems. This 27-year-old Bosnian international has been banging in goals for fun, scoring 15 times in just 20 league starts last season. At $35 million, he would have been exactly the kind of proven Premier League-ready striker we need. But here's where this story gets absolutely heartbreaking for every Leeds fan. Demirović has essentially told us to forget about it before we've even made a proper approach. In a statement that'll make your blood boil, he declared, "I want to assert myself. I didn't come here to leave immediately after the first difficult phase and look for a new club." The man is basically saying he's not interested in joining any club, let alone us. He's telling the world that he's committed to Stuttgart despite falling down their pecking order behind Dennis Undav and Nick Woltemade. Can you believe the arrogance? Here we are offering him Premier League football and the chance to be our main man, and he's choosing to fight for scraps in Germany. This leaves us in an absolutely terrifying position going into the new season. Daniel Farke is now relying on an injury-prone Calvert-Lewin and Joel Pyro, a player who struggled to make an impact in the Championship last season. Are we seriously expecting these two to score the goals that'll keep us in the Premier League when the last 3 promoted sides have all been relegated immediately? The brutal reality is staring us in the face. We might not have enough goals in this team to survive, and our top striker targets are either rejecting us or pricing us out of moves. This could be the decision that haunts us all season long. Leeds faithful, this is it. This is the moment that defines whether we sink or swim in the Premier League. Are we watching the 49ers build a squad capable of survival? Or are we about to witness another masterclass in how not to run a football transfer window? The next 2 weeks will determine our entire season, and right now it feels like we're walking a tightrope over a pit of Championship football. What do you think happens next? Are we doomed to fail? Or can we still salvage something from this absolute chaos? Tell me in the comments, which of these 3 stories has you the most worried about our Premier League survival? And don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because this transfer window is far from over. MOT